Okay, so I have been requested. I have been requested. I have a request to do a reading on. Trying to let you see that. That's what it is. On the consciousness, the mentality of the Trump supporter, the consciousness and the mentality of the anti-Trump. So I'll start with myself personally. I am not a Trump fan. I get Trump supporters, like I understand them, but in my head I judge. I really do. I won't lie and say I don't, because I do. Because I don't understand how you can hear him speak and then still believe it. However, when I did the reading on will his base turn on him, the answer was no, because it's about feeling. Now, fun fact, I done this reading already. And the microphone that I am using did not pick up half the video. Like the whole video was probably doomed from the start because I was probably supposed to do it now instead of later, instead of earlier. I was using the natural light. Right now this is a lamp that's on. I was using the natural light and it looked nice. By the time I got halfway through the video, the sun said forget you and went behind the clouds and then went behind the house and then it was like complete darkness, like darkness. And so then I had a sneezing attack. And so I kept muting the microphone. And then it just decided it wanted to stay mute when I thought I unmuted it, and so half the audio was gone too. So I posted a picture of some of it that I did on Instagram. But the gist of the reading was, for the Trump supporter, it was change. They were fear of change. For the anti-Trumper, it was fear of change. Fear that the world has not changed. The fear that the world will change, just not for the better. So everybody was fear. That's all it was for both sides. So let's see if we get an echo in that. The Trump supporter. What is the mindset of the Trump supporter? Because I will also tell you this, and I feel slightly bad about it, only slightly. There was a person on the channel who I blocked and deleted. Not because they said anything ugly. They didn't say it in a mean-spirited way. They weren't being nasty about it. It was just a constant, and I didn't want to see it anymore. They said something to the effect of, you shouldn't judge the Russians so harshly. We should sort of try to have this kumbaya, I'm paraphrasing, we should have this kumbaya moment. And in my paraphrasing, I am still judging. We have this kumbaya moment. You know, Russia is not our enemy. We should try to sit down at the table with them and get along. And you seem to have a chip on your shoulder for Russians. And it was all about you should be more compassionate towards the Russians. Now, again, that's not an ugly comment. It's just not one that I welcome. That doesn't mean that person needs to be deleted, but since it was on every single video, I'm like, you know what, just go away. Because if the Russians hacked your bank account, you're not going to say, hey, let's sit down and figure out why you did that. No, you're going to try to press some charges. If someone cyber attacks your country, that's what you do. You have a chip on your shoulder about such things. So they've been blocked and deleted. Now, again, the reason I feel slightly bad is because, again, they didn't say anything mean or anything nasty or anything ugly. It's just a constant thing. So here we go. The Trump mentality. The Trump supporter mentality. Nine of Cups. Now, I did say this, and the first time I did this reading, if we get a lot of cup cards, it's all about feeling. We start with the cup, we end it with the cup, and the last one too. This is wishful thinking. Nine of Cups is wishful thinking. A bit of delusion, a bit of wishes, a bit of desire. This is what I want. Queen of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. Queen of Swords. Four of Swords. Justice. Knight of Swords. Seven of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. The Hermit. Interesting. Completely changed. Completely changed. So let's see. You have the wishful thinking, but why do you have all this feminine energy? Because I didn't use this deck the first time I did it, so now I'm confused. The mentality, the mindset, the consciousness of the Trump supporter. There's my keyword. Waiting. So, let's start there. Wishful thinking. I don't know who these are. I don't know why. Court cards always confuse me anyway. Push that to the side for the moment. Wishful thinking and waiting. I seen a man's hat today that said, "Keep America great." So they have believed that he has made it that way because he was supposed to make it great again. So they want his reelection for 2020. They feel isolated, like this is not their country anymore. What they want is for the new wave to come back, the authority. A Trump supporter once has said that this country is not feared anymore. They like that. They like to feel tough. They want to be feared. They want to be right. Now, interestingly enough, I'm getting a lot harsher judgment from this spread than I did from the other one. The other one was more, they are afraid that their world has changed. I see. I got it. Haha. Now it makes sense. It makes total sense. The reading I did before is supposed to go with this. That's why because I still, okay, a little insight into what I do here. When I do these readings, I pray beforehand, Spirit speak through me. Every time I finish a video, I have no idea what I just said. I go back and I rewatch it. I ask Spirit to speak through me and it does. Have no idea what I just said. I remember what I said in that video that did not work. I said all about the Trump supporter is fearful that the world is changing. I got the the changing cards. I got the fear cards. I got the Eight of Swords for the Trump support and the Nine of Swords for the non-Trump supporters. So I got fear and I got bound. I got emotion for both. The cup cards flew out. I got a cup cards for both Trump supporters and non-Trump supporters. It was all about feeling. Both sides, all about feeling. This time, I do have no feelings. I got one, wishful thinking, but that's more logic. But anyway, so now I'm as confused as why aren't those cards popping back up? Because this is like the add-on to that previous one. I was supposed to tell you about that one and then this one. So the cup cards popped up in the first one. It's all about the world changing. They don't like it. They want to go back to the time where being a white man meant something. They want to be feared. They want to be awed, aspired to. Being an American should be a goal for some people, is how they feel. Sitting out, waiting for the knight in shining armor to change things. These are the damsels in distress. These are the saviors. They feel as though they are helpless and hopeless. Therefore, they wait. Wishful thinking. The knights are coming in to save the day. These are the people that they wanted. These are the people they prayed for. These are the people that they worked for. These are the people that they voted for. Helpless, hopeless, holding the money. I have what you need. Just come help me. Searching for answers. Searching for the old way of life. The damsels in distress. They're waiting. So the world has changed. They do not like it. Trump is supposed to save the day, which is why they see him as the compassionate person. The anti-Trump, the person who does not support Donald Trump, what is your consciousness? What is your mentality? I drew the Nine of Swords for them last time because they fear as well. They fear as though he's going to be the last president. He's going to be the last president. He's going to bring about the doom of the world. He's the Antichrist. He's all the feelings that you could feel when you fear something or fear someone is what the anti-Trump felt. As though he would bring about doom. He would destroy the environment. He would roll back all our rights. If you're a woman, if you're gay, if you're black, he would just roll back everything. He would make deals and partnerships. He would sell the country to the Russians. And fear. Fear about changing, and then fear about changing for them too, I'm pretty sure is what's going to come up now. So that's what the last reading for I did for them said. So this one, cups. Eight of Wands, Six of Wands, the Hierophant, the Tower, King of Swords, Ace of Wands, Four of Wands, the Lovers, Page of Wands. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. So that's actually kind of cool. That reading I did before goes with this one as well. The first one was all cups. This one looks like all fire. So you went from emotion to action. They went from emotion to waiting, biding their time. So you have the Three of Cups suggesting that there is an outlook, an outreach. There's the Eight of Wands. There is something that they're working towards. All they can see is let's get him out. Let's band together, get him out. Tell him we don't want him. Tell we don't like him. Tell him whatever you're selling, sir, I ain't buying. They want their leaders to emerge and do it for them. Be their representatives in government. Do something about this. Bring about a end, even if it's a violent end, to Donald Trump. And there he is. They have ideas. They want the representatives to get him out, to start proceedings. There's a bond. They want to work together. They want to get rid of him however it is that they can. There's the news. A bit of childish exuberance. So there is a need, a want, and a desire. From the Republicans being the damsels in distress because Mexicans have infiltrated their country, even though their ancestors are not from here either. They need someone to save the day. Then you have those on the anti-Trump side who have sort of this, I won't call it, well, yeah, let's call a thing a thing. There is sort of a, a rage, almost a childish rage. Not approaching it from a place of logic and trying to work within the legal system. It's more of a throw the bomb out with the bathwater. So, with the biding the time, fear of the world being changed, fear of the world being changed for the worse, childish exuberance, and rage, what would it take to unite the two? What is it going to take for both sides to believe that the world has changed, but not for the better? Now, I will say this. There has always remained the constant that the world is getting worse when it is actually getting better, believe it or not. I am a black man on the internet reading tarot cards in the United States because I can. 2019. If this was 1819, where would I be? The world gets better. It gets better in increments, but it gets better. We have life-saving drugs now. We have people who still do amazing things for one another. People who say amazing things to each other. The world is not awful. This country is still amazing. Always will be. The sides don't ever see the same thing the same way. And yet we still coexist. Not all of us. Not all of us in this world do that. Period. I don't care what what rock you stand on and call it whatever country you want. 100% of the people do not get along 100% of the time. But this will always be a great place. We choose to see the negative. These things constantly pipe negative news to us and we consume it. You can get positive news if you want. There is a channel on YouTube, I believe, that's put out by YouTube called Restoring Faith in Humanity. Why doesn't that have 100 million subscribers? We consume negative news, so we can go around, shake our head, and say the world sure is something else. The world is crazy. The world, no, it's not. The news is crazy. They give you one news story and suddenly the whole world's bad. No, the world is not bad. Trump is not going to be the last president. The world is not going to hell in a handbasket. It is not that dire. It just looks that way because every time you turn this thing on, the bad news is piped to you. It follows you. It's everywhere. Turn it off. Look at something great. Look at something grand. There was a little girl, and her father came into the place where I work, and she wanted to take toys and diapers and clothes and things to other children who are in foster care. You didn't get that story, did you? That a little girl was collecting donations for other children in foster care. You didn't get that story, but the world is bad. That happens all the time. The world is not a bad place. They're just bad people in it, and then when they react, we react by covering that story and making that person a celebrity. You know about Dylan Roof, but you don't know about that little girl. So what is it going to take to unite us? Seven of Swords, that is a strategy. Three of Swords, that is separation. Ten of Swords, loss. Two of Wands. Yeah, that's what I thought. Preparation. Nine of Wands is weariness. The Empress is feeling. Queen of Cups, Death, Ace of Pentacles, the Star. That's what I thought. Nothing unites Americans more than a disaster. Nothing. Not the little girl doing things for foster care. Nobody cares. But the world prayed when Dylan Roof shot up a church. Disaster. The childish rage. The knights in shining armor. Can only see eye to eye when someone dies. Death unites everybody. You all go in the same ground or in the same urn. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. This is strategy. This is something underhanded, something devious, something heartbreaking, something heart-wrenching, a loss, a complete, total loss. That's what brings about the preparation, the conversation, the aren't we tired of this? Aren't we sick and tired of being sick and tired? The emotions run high. We say change is coming, change is going to happen, change is this. We look towards the star for hope in healing. Disaster, heartbreak. That's what unites us. That's what it would take. Sad thing is, it doesn't last. 9/11, here we are. Everybody was in church after 9/11, and then next thing you know, here we are, arguing over the same stupid things. The childish rage, the damsels in distress, heartbreak, tragedy. Fear that the world has changed and has left you behind, fear that the world has changed and are taking away the things that you have worked for, are only mended by heartbreak and tragedy. Now, with that being said, that does not mean they cannot coexist. That's just what unites us. I get along perfectly fine with Trump supporters as long as we're not talking about politics. Because something that we fail to see sometimes, they're still a person. We call them stupid. We call them names. You're a fool because you're following this horrible creep of a person, and we then demonize them the way that they do other people. Because when the Trump supporter comes in, they're not sending their best. They're rapists, they're drug dealers, they bring crime, and I assume some of them are good people, right? That's the way they paint us. That's the way we paint them. Is that they're somehow demons. They're somehow stupid. They're somehow foolish. They're just afraid of the world changing. It's fear. That's all it is. It's fear. The world has changed and they don't like it. Our world has changed and we don't like it. You don't want him there. They don't want him out. The world has changed. It will continue to do so. The people being born now will make it a much better place. But the people who are here now have the obligation to maintain it until they grow up. So, if that means that you don't talk about politics to the other side, then don't. Go in and vote and leave it at that. We can coexist. We can do it. Use your words, not your rage. No one's coming to save you, Trump supporters. No one's coming to save you, Trump non-supporters. You are who you are waiting for. There is no knight in shining armor coming in. You are who you are waiting for. You're your own hero. Just coexist. That's all you have to do.